I guess this is just a little behind the scenes. Not really much. I'm just going to talk about my LEGO Iron Man minifigures. I have 5 here. These are all of my 5 Iron Man minifigures. I guess you could say I've built up a collection. Basically, 4 out of the 5, not this one. These 4, I obtained building the LEGO Iron Man Hall of Armor set for the Avengers Endgame movie. Yeah, so basically kind of like, that's how I got these figures. But this, I got this from the Iron Mech set a couple weeks back. I got my Hall of Armor set like last month. I got this one like 2 or 3 months ago. But anyways, what I'm here to talk about, I'm just kind of here to talk about my LEGO Iron Man minifigures. So basically, I'm not going to be ranking them. I'm just going to be going over all of them. I guess this is just a little behind the scenes, I guess. But we're going to start off first with my first generic red and gold one. Let's just get this out of the way. This is the Mark 50 suit from the Avengers Endgame film and Infinity War film. You know, it's got the Tony Stark face, Tony Stark printing. Of course, it has a flip-up visor like most of the past Iron Man helmets. It's not old. I think they still use this print, or not this print, this design sometimes. But I think they've moved over to this for their main LEGO sets. But we'll get to that when we get to that. Anyways, so this minifigure, of course, has a flip-up visor, has its painting and everything. And we'll talk about how I feel about these flip-up visors later. But yeah, basically it's just kind of based off of the Iron Man Mark 50 suit from the Avengers movies. Second, we're gonna save that for later. Silver Centurion. I really love this armor because it's based off of the Silver Centurion. Silver Centurion, of course, from the movies, but I love it way more from the comic books because it's just super cool in the comic books. I hate what they did with the Silver Centurion in the movie because they made it seem like it was a really bad suit, which sucks because it wasn't a bad suit at all. In the movie, they made it seem like it was a really weak suit, but in the comic books, it is a great suit. It is really good. But anyways, I love the printing, I love the paint, I love the metallic silver. I love how, like, if you pay attention to the flashlight reflecting off of this LEGO minifigure, you'll see how it, like, kind of has a very exaggerated silver, and it's really enjoyable, and I really love it. It's really pleasurable. One of my favorite, LEGO minifigures. The Silver Centurion is my favorite Iron Man armor of all time. In case you wanted to know, it's my favorite Iron Man armor of all time. I just really love it. There's something about it. I just love the silver and the red. Silver and red aren't even my 2 favorite colors. My 2 favorite colors are black and yellow. But I just still really love this design somehow. And I just really love the Silver Centurion from the comic books. Love everything about it. And of course it has a flip-up helmet. Next armor, we're going to be doing the stealth suit armor. And of course, I mentioned before, black and yellow are my favorite colors, so, you know, this is a really cool color scheme suit. But they don't really show this much in the MCU. They only showed it like once in Iron Man 3, I think. But basically, as far as this suit goes in the comic books, of course, these are based off of the MCU, but, you know, I'm going off of the comic books because this is where they got the most exposure. This has the ability to turn invisible and kind of like has stealth abilities, which I really like because you never really think that Iron Man's a stealth kind of guy. He loves to shoot missiles at the enemies and all that, and repulsor beams, but I kind of like the idea of the stealth suit because I just really like it. In case you didn't notice, this is different painting. This isn't recoloring. This is actually different printing because this one has more lines. This one just has different rectangular segments, as you can see right there. But yeah, this the stealth suit is really good. I like the gold and the black, and it just blends together really well. It makes a really good suit, and I love how it looks in the comic books as well. And it's just a really good overall suit, and I love the paint job, and it's just great. One tweak I would say is to maybe make these look red, like the arc reactor, the core of the suit, and the eyes. Like, I would make those red because they're red in the comic books if I can show a picture. Next is the Mark 1 Iron Man suit, you know, the one that he used to get out of the cave in the movie and the comic books, I think. Of course, this is based off of the movie because, of course, you can see these exposed parts and all the scraps of metals and bits and bobs and all that. Not based off of the comic books. Because in the comic books, it looks a lot more clean. I'll show you a picture right here. But yeah, basically, it's a good suit. Of course, it's based off of the movie, and going off of the movie, it's really good. Of course, it doesn't have a flip-up head like the others, because in the movie it didn't have a flip-up head. Well, it did have a flip-up head, but that wasn't supposed to be a main feature. It was just kind of helped to put the suit onto the body. Paint job, not really much to say, except it's a good paint job for what it's aiming for. For what it's aiming for, looking for a dirty look, I really love the paint job on this. I love the dirt look. I love the metallic silver. I love the scrapping. I love everything about it. And I love how they, like what they did with the Silver Centurion, they added some silver shiny bits, which is really nice. And also, if you pay attention closely, if I can kind of filter my shiny, or filter my, yeah. If I can kind of put my finger over the camera, if you pay attention closely, you'll see like the grainy bits of the minifigure, and that's really cool. Not really much to say about that except what I just said. So yeah, final minifigure, the one, the only, the Supreme Golden Red Suit. This isn't called the Supreme Golden Red Suit. I call it the Supreme I just called it the Supreme Golden Red Suit. If you pay attention to my main channel, you'll know that I really love this minifigure, and this is my favorite minifigure to use for stop motions as far as red and gold goes, because it's not based off of movies, actually. It's based off of comics in the new Avengers game, which I really like because they really gave it a nice-looking comic book look, and it really should look like comic books because, you know, we haven't gotten a comic book-based Iron Man minifigure in a while, so it's great that we have one of these now, and it's great because I just really love the paint job. They really did a great job. They did really good with the paint job on this. I love the painting, the design, the metallic yellow, or the gold, and I just like the face. The face looks like it's Iron Man, and it looks like it's from the comic books. It looks very comic-oriented, and I just really love that because we don't get a lot of comic book-based minifigures anymore because Marvel and Lego like to cash in on their films more so than any other things. So I'm glad that we got a new minifigure that I can use broadly instead of needing to use those for movies, because I can just use this for my original Iron Man and Lego projects. So this is great because it's just, it has originality, and I really love the paint job. And of course, it doesn't flip up the heads. Now I'm going to talk about the flip up heads before we go. I said everything I have to say. It's great in all aspects. Paint, coloring, design, everything. It's just great. I really love it, and it's my favorite golden red suit to use. This is my favorite basic colored Iron Man suit to use for my stop motions. It's just my greatest Iron Man minifigure. It's just something about it. I just love this one so much. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's one of my favorite minifigures of all time. Now let's talk helmets before we go. We're gonna take this golden red one because, you know, just to kind of. Now we take this MCU looking this like basic normal looking head flipping piece compared to my Supreme Iron Man. I'm gonna just call it Supreme Iron Man. That's not what it's really called, but I'm gonna call it Supreme Iron Man. Supreme Iron Man versus Flip Up Visor Iron Man. First thing to note is that, of course, this flips up. This part flips up on this Iron Man, and this Iron Man doesn't. Now, let's talk about this. When I say this, I do not mean that I hate the flip up design. I love the flip up design. I love both designs equally. I'm just saying that on terms of stop motion and on terms of actually using the minifigures rather than displaying them, I would say that this one is a bit better because I like to use this one for stop motion. So when I'm doing stop motion, I like to make sure that nothing will slip off, because if it slips, like if the visor falls off of that place like this, sorry I had to put the camera down, I just got to show you this real quick. If the visor slips off of the helmet, then there's a high chance that it could fall off, so like make sure that yours isn't slippery, because I had a pre-owned Iron Man minifigure. Of course, I eventually got a new nanotech Iron Man suit, but my older one, this visor was very loose on my older one, and I eventually lost it because it fell off of the helmet when I was, you know, doing my thing. So sadly, you know, that happened. So that's why I'm a little skeptical about using these in stop motion. I will use these in stop motion when I really need them. Like I only really use the MCU based suits when I'm making an MCU based project. Like when I'm making something based off of the MCU movies, then that's when I'll use like a MCU based suit. But as far as just overall using an Iron Man minifigure in general for like any sort of project, I like to use this one. Because, you know, like I said before, I had an experience before where I lost one of these visors. I'm not scared of it. I know that like mine is pretty stiff and I'm not going to lose it. And like if I keep good care of it, I'm not going to lose it. But of course, you know, I'm always being careful with these flip up visor designs, which is why I like to play it safe when I use this, because, you know, it's just great. And, you know, yeah. I like the main head design, like I like the complete head design, not flipping up, just as much as I like these. They're both really good designs. This one has been around for a while, so this kind of has a nostalgia role, but at the same time, I love this, like, as much as I love this. Like, I love them equally. They're just really great. But anyways, yeah, those were my, Lego Iron Man minifigures, and that's what I have to say about the matter. So, yeah, this is the second channel, by the way. Well, I'm gonna go now.